Human Trafficking Task Force, National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Welcome.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. Thank you. And Councilmember Trace, thank you for the invitation, the opportunity to present. So, yes, I'm James Kenney, and I'm here. I have the honor to represent the Central Florida Human Trafficking Task Force. I am the Community Outreach Board member. We're here. The task force works within Osceola and Orange County to help lead investigative efforts on human trafficking in our counties and to help provide community outreach and education and provide support for victims and survivors of trafficking within the Central Florida. We are comprised of state and local law enforcement agencies, nonprofit leaders, and community advocates. We're here because this is Human Trafficking Prevention Month. In 2007, the U.S. Senate designated January 11th as National Day of Human Trafficking Awareness. And then starting in 2010, President Barack Obama expanded the day, declaring the month of January to be National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month, which culminates in National Freedom Day on February the 1st. Human trafficking involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act. It can also be known as modern-day slavery. There are two types, sex trafficking and labor trafficking. In our county, unfortunately, we do see both. We would like to say that's not true, but unfortunately, it is. Let's take a look at some myths. All human trafficking involves sex. Well, that's obviously not true. There are labor trafficking offenses as well. Commercial sex is human trafficking. Unfortunately, no. There are some people that can actually put themselves out there purposely to have sex for money. So that's not part of human trafficking because they're not forced into it. Human trafficking is always or usually a violent crime. Not necessarily. Some traffickers use the threat of force to keep their folks in line, and only undocumented foreign nationals get trafficked in the U.S. Again, very unfortunate, but not true. Many of our United States citizens and people in general right here in the community can be put into the game if someone's not careful. It could be a runaway or someone that's just not cared for enough in a family that may decide to run and get lost in the community. Labor trafficking is primarily a problem in developing countries. Unfortunately, no. Quite prevalent here in the United States. Only women and girls can be victims of sex trafficking. No, men and boys as well. If the trafficked person consented to be in the situation initially, then it cannot be human trafficking or against their will. Again, not true. It may start as a very consensual situation and then turn into trafficking afterwards. People being trafficked are physically unable to leave their situations, locked in or held against their will. Most trafficking situations, it's just that threat of force, the idea that they may not be able to leave, and then there are other things involved because the trafficker uses other ideas, drugs, alcohol, the idea that the trafficker, the victim has now performed some very terrible things and they're afraid of maybe going to jail or being told that now their family wouldn't want them. So they're afraid to run because they think there's nowhere else to go. It's a hidden crime where victims might be afraid to come forward, or we may not even recognize the signs even if it was happening right in front of us. Here's some statistics. I have to say that these are a little old because they have not updated anything from 2021, but these are 2020 numbers where across the state of Florida, this is from Polaris, which they run the National Human Trafficking Hotline. You can see at the top a total of 1,887 victims identified. And if you see the map of Florida, all of the red areas that run straight across Central Florida. So the high incidence in our area, it's not good. In 2019, Polaris worked on a total of 11,500 situations of trafficking, 22,326 individual survivors, and nearly 4,400 traffickers. It's notoriously underreported, so even if those numbers look bad, please understand that those numbers, it's probably not even close to what the real numbers are out there. And why is all this so important? Because it's a very costly industry. This is why it's out there. According to the International Labor Organization, $150 billion industry. And let me see if I can put that into perspective. This is billions of dollars, folks. Last week, there was the big rollover lottery that had rolled for months and months. And you saw that that one hadn't even hit $1 billion. And this is $150 billion. Human trafficking is so large because it's even more expansive than the drug industry. You see, I can get a kilo of cocaine and I can sell that and make a considerable amount of money. But once I sell it, it's gone. But I get 2 or 3 women and I can sell them tonight, tomorrow, the next day, and it's a continuing business. And that's what makes human trafficking so terrible. I know, sir, and I hate when I say those words because it feels horrible to even say it, but that's the dirty business of what human trafficking is. It's horrible. We're the number 3 state in our country. This is why we have to keep fighting for it so much. We have an event scheduled Saturday, the 22nd. This is to help bring awareness. We are doing a Red Sand Project event. This is something that goes on across the country. There's a company that started this, and it's a nonprofit organization to help spread the sand in the cracks of the sidewalks and bring attention to those victims and survivors. We're going to begin at 10 a.m. out in front of the courthouse in Kissimmee. We have a presentation. The state attorney is going to come out and speak. We'll have a few other speakers. We have a survivor that will speak. And then we'll do a little walk from there out to the lakefront, and we'll be able to spread some sand on the sidewalk. And we would love to have anyone that would like to come and be a part. We'd love to have you out there. Questions?
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comment from council?
Thank you again.
Well, this is certainly an incredible area that we certainly need to be more aware of and certainly more proactive in. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and we certainly look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.